And for the last demo today, let's talk about algorithms. They're always terrible, right? Well, maybe not so, particularly if you control them. So here is Davide Eynard with Build Your Own Timeline Algorithm.
Johannes, thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks to everyone who made this thing possible. It's been great until now, and I'm sure it's going to be great in the follow-ups. So let me share my screen for a sec. And can you see a browser window here? Okay,
Yes, we do.
so perfect. Now let me just move to VLC. I recorded this just to make sure I was fitting in the time. So welcome to Build Your Own Timeline Algorithm. And there actually is a demo online, which is on Hugging Face Spaces, but I wanted to show you something that was a bit more interactive today. So we're going to run basically the same thing, a demo, but locally. I want to show you how you can run it. As long as you have Docker, you can run the BYOTA container, passing the demo PY parameter. And what happens is that you're not gonna need to connect to any Mastodon service to provide your credentials. It's just gonna run on simulated data. So you can play with this before you buy it. And you're not gonna buy anyway. You can just use it for free. So what we do is using synthetic data for the timelines. We're using my personal data for the user timeline. So I'm happy to share this. It's not a problem. There's nothing really personal there. And what we do first thing after downloading stuff, which has been already provided by a synthetic data set, is embedding posts, which means we are calculating some descriptor, some mathematical representation of the data. And the closer this data is, the closer the actual posts are semantically. So what can we do with these embeddings? First thing is embedding visualization, which means you can select one of these clusters and see what this is about. In this case, for instance, you can see, are you seeing also all that Zoom things? Let me just minimize them if you're seeing them. So this is about crypto, for instance. This one is about Gopher, one of my favorites, if you have seen any other presentation of mine. The main idea is if these points are close, they're about the same topic. And you're going to see them very neatly because this is all synthetic data, but the main principle still holds on real data. Now I'm choosing an AI post, I'm copy pasting the ID there, and then I can do timeline search. So I select a similar post to the one whose ID I provided. These are all about AI. I can also copy paste just some text. Book suggestions for sci-fi lovers. If I change this to horror lovers, the, let's say, recommendations change a bit. So it's good for discovery, for finding something that's more similar to what you might like. Of course, you can do re-ranking based on this similarity, simple text similarity. You provide your own statuses, you provide a timeline, you choose how many pages you want to load from your statuses. And this, for instance, is just the 40 latest posts I wrote. And these are posts that speak about algorithms, Gopher, open source, AI. That's basically what I care about and write about the most. I can also increase the number of posts I make available. I'm going to have a relatively more stable timeline. Some time ago, I wrote more about Gopher, so you're going to have more posts about Gopher in the top results of your timeline. Then there's re-ranking your post. This is kind of the opposite, and this is good for you to get an idea about how the algorithm works. It's actually maybe not a great use. You search for a tag on a timeline on a server, and you get basically the style of those posts from that hashtag projected onto your own posts. So you can see your posts about books, about cooking, about Gopher, and whatever. So I'm going to stop this and open another Docker container. This one is the real thing. It's not a demo anymore. I provided some authentication data. I provided some pre-downloaded posts, so you don't have to wait for me to download them. What happens here, you already see that you see more than one timeline. This is one of the latest updates, thanks to everyone who raised this issue. And I decided to prioritize because I thought it was interesting. I'm logging into different instances. One is Fosstodon, the other is Macaw. And now you can see timelines from different instances plotted together and see what is similar across timelines. So again, we can select, do the same as we did before. This is all about Wordle, but from different timelines and different instances. Also, the search you do is cross-instance. And the same holds for re-ranking. The difference in re-ranking is you can choose statuses from one account and re-rank a timeline from another account. Think you're bouncing from one service to another, and you want to see what people post in this new instance you're in, and you could do this by re-ranking the timeline this way. Same holds for re-ranking or repost. It's the same identical thing that happened before. So one last thing I wanted to try was to see if the main uh, code that I wrote for the BYOTA demo could be used somewhere else. So I took the Blue Sky feed generator and I just provided this. Let me just pause it for a sec, or actually get back for half a second. Here I'm providing just a string, the same as I was doing before for search. And the string I provided was Pride Month, LGBTQIA+, ally, love. This is everything I provided. I calculating an embedding for this. And then for every single post into the Blue Sky Firehose, I was checking out what the embedding was and whether it was close or not to the one that I provided. And then I ran it as a Blue Sky feed generator. Few lines changed compared to the example they provided. And there it is, my feed that can be provided to Surf, for instance, which is all about Pride Month, which I wanted to kind of celebrate as the conclusion of my very quick presentation. So thanks, everyone. And let me stop sharing here.